This webinar is called the VELEZ Factor Revisited. This is created for the owners at the 6060 condominium because we feel that the owners are being taken down the road to bankruptcy, foreclosure, and financial destruction. The VELEZ Factor, it's something that every owner is now forced to consider at the 6060. VELEZ refuses to pay her HU fees. She does not care if the building has no money to pay its operating cost. VELEZ increased the association's annual budget by 700%. She does not care if owners can't afford to pay or if the building fees get so high that nobody in their right mind is willing to purchase a unit at the 6060. VELEZ forces the association into bankruptcy, listing the HU owner's bills rather than her own, and now forcing owners to pay approximately $800 more in monthly fees to the HU and association. The VELEZ Factor, something everybody is forced to deal with today. VELEZ takes the association Unit 505, off the hotel program. Doing so, she loses revenue as high as $1,500 per month, and now forcing owners to cover this loss on top of all the others. VELEZ and her board give bad advice. Their advice caused two owners to lose their unit in foreclosure by default, and now they're back in court blaming VELEZ's advice. VELEZ wages a private agenda using owners' money. She votes, along with her puppet board of directors, to fund $650,000 in legal fees to fight what the court already ruled upon over 2 years ago. The VELEZ Factor, we are now dealing with it. It's an everyday occurrence at the 6060, and owners need to be aware VELEZ is taking you down the road to bankruptcy, foreclosure, and financial destruction. VELEZ pays lawyers first, while the association goes uninsured, and the property is now subject to a tax sale. VELEZ will not tell anyone where the $50,000 legal retainer came from, but she did not pay the association's insurance or taxes. She doesn't mind paying lawyers, but here we go uninsured, and now the association property is in a tax sale. Today, the association units are going to be lost at a tax sale. VELEZ wages a private agenda using owners' money, and she forces owners to pay as much as $1 million in legal fees. This is what is on the horizon at the 6060 due to the VELEZ Factor. VELEZ hired the same lawyers that charged our neighboring association just 1 block away $1 million for their bankruptcy. VELEZ did not meet with owners or creditors before forcing our association into bankruptcy without knowing any of the related or financial exposure, the responsibility forced upon all owners. VELEZ took us into bankruptcy, not telling us and not even giving us a hint as to how much it's going to cost. And if all indications of what they paid, that they charged our neighbors, it looks like $1 million. This is the VELEZ Factor at the 6060, and it's something that every owner is forced to deal with today. We are on the road to bankruptcy. We're already in bankruptcy thanks to VELEZ. Foreclosure, 70 owners are already in foreclosure. And this is destruction, thanks to the advice and leadership of Maria, T. VELEZ. VELEZ does not care how much she is spending on legal because it is not her money. VELEZ would rather see every owner lose their unit than face the reality that exists at 6060 today. VELEZ has a sick desire to get the HU owner at any cost, and she promotes her sick agenda by calling and emailing owners and telling them anything and everything but the truth about what is really going on at the 6060. VELEZ lost twice before in court, and the court ruled that she can't do what she is now trying to do for the third time, and that is to change the condo declarations. It can't be done, but she is willing to spend all of your money to continue this sick agenda. The VELEZ factor, it's real, it's here today, and every owner has to deal with it. VELEZ does not care how much of your money she is spending on legal because it is not her money. VELEZ ignores prior court rulings, and she ignores the fact that the HU owner and related companies own over 24% of the association's voting, which makes any change in the condo declarations impossible. Impossible, unless approved by Shecker's related companies. The VELEZ factor, we are fighting a losing battle by supporting VELEZ. Owners must remove VELEZ and her board of directors from office, or VELEZ must immediately voluntarily step down before it is too late for all the unit owners. VELEZ ignores the fact that there can only be one winner, and that is the HU owner, the Shecker Group. Why? Because if owners do not pay, the building will close for good, and it will never open again until all the delinquent owners are foreclosed upon. This makes every owner a loser and the HU owner the only winner. When there should not be any winners or losers, we should be cooperating and working together. Owners must end the madness by voting today. We need to recall VELEZ. Because the VELEZ factor is real, it's impacting every single owner at the 6060. What has VELEZ done? Well, number one, she voted to increase your association budget by 700%. The law allows for a 15% increase. How did she do it? She forced the association into bankruptcy without once speaking to any owners, any creditors, or advising owners of the astronomical price associated with going into bankruptcy. She voted to spend $650,000 in legal fees with no explanation as to what these legal fees are for. When asked, the question was dodged and avoided by her lawyer. VELEZ couldn't even speak. She let her lawyer do all the talking for her at the association's annual budget meeting. VELEZ forced owners to pay $800 more per month in monthly fees because of what she did at the annual meeting on January 17th. She and her board members refused to pay their own HU fees, and collectively they probably owe close to $200,000 or more. And this is money that we need to pay the bills to keep our building open. VELEZ is trying to use bankruptcy. This is item number 6. She is trying to use bankruptcy to change the condo documents. This will never happen. Never. Yet she's willing to spend, and she has already spent, over $100,000 on these new lawyers, and they don't even have a bankruptcy plan before the bankruptcy court. Number 7, she ignores prior court rulings and continues to spend more money, your money, on wasted legal bills that can easily be avoided. Number 8, Velez paid lawyers while the association's property is being lost in a tax sale, and she paid her lawyers before the insurance premiums to cover the association and to protect all the owners in the association. People, this is the Velez factor. This is what we're living with every day right now at the 60/60. What has Velez done? We just told you. We just showed you. The question becomes, now that you know, how much more are you willing to take?